Tasha Reynolds didn't complain. She couldn't afford to. As a single mother working 2 janitorial jobs just to keep food on the table, every shift mattered, even the ones that hurt her pride a little. Tonight was one of those nights. The ballroom was stunning. Crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead. Live jazz floated through the air, and servers in tuxedos glided from table to table with trays of champagne. It was the annual Hampton Bay Charity Gala, where millionaires gathered to outbid each other for silent auction art pieces and call it philanthropy. And there, in the middle of it all, was Tasha on her knees near the back wall, scrubbing a wine stain off the marble floor. She wore her company's gray uniform with rubber gloves and scuffed sneakers. She avoided eye contact. Most of the guests didn't even notice her. A few did, and turned away with wrinkled noses. Why is she doing that during dinner? Someone whispered. She should wait until after, another replied, clearly annoyed. Tasha focused on the stain. She'd clean this, then the restrooms, then the back hallway, then maybe catch a bus before midnight. The life of the invisible. She stood up, stretched her aching back, and turned toward her cleaning cart, only to find a sharply dressed man standing in her path. Tall, elegant, probably in his 60s, his tuxedo was worth more than her month's rent. He smiled warmly. "Excuse me, are you?" Tasha blinked. "Sir, I'm sorry, I was just," but he held up a hand. "I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to say, thank you. It's rare to see someone with such humility." She frowned. "I'm just the cleaning staff." His eyebrows lifted. "Really? I assumed you were one of the donors, someone checking on how the staff was treated. Your presence, it's graceful. Like you belong here." Tasha didn't know what to say. For the first time in her life, someone in a room like this didn't see a uniform. He saw her. Tasha didn't know whether to laugh, correct him, or walk away. She had never been called graceful before, not in this world of crystal glasses and designer heels. She looked down at her gloved hands, still smelling faintly of bleach, and then back up at the man. "I assure you, sir, I'm not a guest. I work for City Clean Janitorial." The man's expression didn't shift. In fact, he seemed even more intrigued. "I'm Everett Langston," he said, extending a hand, "and I've made it my life's work to recognize value beyond the surface." Reluctantly, Tasha removed one glove and shook his hand. Firm, warm, respectful. "Miss Tasha. Tasha Reynolds." "Well, Tasha," he said, "I think you have more poise and presence than half the people in this room. And that's saying something. I fund most of them." She chuckled, embarrassed. "You've probably mistaken me for someone else." But Everett leaned in slightly and lowered his voice. "No mistake. There's strength in your eyes, and people like me notice strength." Before she could respond, one of the event coordinators rushed over. "Sir, we need you for the stage presentation." Everett nodded, then looked back at Tasha. "Don't leave before I'm done." He walked away, leaving Tasha stunned. For the next 30 minutes, she worked slowly, her mind spinning. No one had ever made her feel like she belonged in a room like this. Was he being kind, polite, or did he truly see something in her? After Everett Langston's speech, an impassioned message about leadership and investing in unseen potential, the crowd erupted in polite applause. But he hadn't forgotten Tasha. As guests mingled again, he made a beeline back to where she had been working. "You stayed," he said, looking pleased. "I wasn't sure if you meant it," she said, honestly. He motioned toward an empty table and asked her to sit for a moment. Tasha hesitated, then slowly lowered herself onto the velvet chair. A few guests looked puzzled, some even frowned, but Everett didn't seem to care. "I want to ask you something," he said, serious now. "What would you do if someone gave you a real opportunity?" Tasha looked down, heart pounding. "Honestly, I'd open my own business. I clean homes during the day and offices at night. I've built a small client list, but I can't grow. No money, no support." Everett nodded. "I've helped fund tech startups, fashion brands, even space ventures. But you remind me of someone you used to know, someone who rose from the floor to the boardroom." She looked at him in disbelief. He pulled a small card from his jacket and handed it to her. His personal number. Come see me Monday. I believe in people who've cleaned up other people's messes, literally and figuratively. Tasha held the card as if it might vanish. For the first time in a long time, her dream felt within reach. Monday morning, Tasha stood outside a sleek glass building in Midtown. Her second-hand blazer itched slightly, and her nerves hummed like electricity when she stepped inside and told the receptionist she had a meeting with Everett Langston. The woman blinked in surprise, but didn't question it. Minutes later, Tasha was escorted into a private office with a view that looked like it touched the clouds. Everett stood up and smiled as if she were a longtime friend. "Glad you came." They sat down, and she shared everything: her beginnings, her business name, her challenges, her vision for a cleaning company that treated workers like professionals, not invisible tools. Everett listened, took notes, asked smart questions. Then he leaned back. "I want to fund your startup," he said plainly. "Fully. Not alone. A partnership. I'll take 10% equity. You take the lead. You run the show." Tasha's breath caught. "Why me?" He looked her in the eye. "Because you didn't let the world decide your value. You carried yourself with dignity in a room that pretended not to see you and still shined." Tasha felt tears prick the corner of her eyes, but she held them back. The deal was real, and her dream was no longer just a dream. It was starting. 6 months later, the grand opening of Shine Pro Services made local business headlines. Tasha Reynolds, once invisible in the background, was now featured on the front page of the Metro Business Weekly as the CEO of one of the fastest-growing professional cleaning firms in the city. She hired women and men like herself, hardworking, undervalued. She gave them health benefits, training, and uniforms that looked sharp and professional. No one on her team was allowed to be treated as just the help. At the next Hampton Bay Gala, she returned. But this time, she wasn't scrubbing the floors. She walked through the marble doors in a navy blue dress and heels, greeted by event staff who addressed her as Ms. Reynolds. Cameras flashed. One guest asked, "What company do you represent?" She smiled. "My own." Everett Langston, sipping champagne nearby, gave her a proud nod across the room. And as she looked around, she saw more than crystal chandeliers and fancy dresses. She saw a world that had once looked down on her, and now had no choice but to look up.